Trauma can have a profound impact on us. It can affect us in all areas of our lives, and at times, it can even completely change us as a person. Trauma can change the way we view ourselves, the world, the people around us, and our beliefs and values. We may feel disconnected from the person we once were, as if that version of ourselves is just a distant memory. A beneficial stage in our healing is allowing ourselves to grieve. Grieving is a deeply personal process, one with no set timeline or manual to follow, so we must make sure we take all the time we need in this stage. I had a misconception with grief. Grief is not just a loss through death. Grief can also stem from a loss of identity, trust, safety, or a sense of control. After trauma, it is important to allow ourselves to grieve the person we were before the event, or the life we had envisioned for ourselves. Now, you may still have the same future plans for yourself after trauma, but in my circumstances, everything changed, so I had to grieve my previous ambitions. Please remember that there is no right time for how long grieving should last. What matters most is that we are allowing ourselves to have space to fully feel the grief without rushing ourselves to move on. We must be patient and trust that healing is possible, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. It is important to understand when trauma completely changes our perceptions of ourselves and the world we live in, this is grief. This is a process that looks different for everyone, and many of us may not actually be aware that we are in fact grieving. When we feel distant or disconnected from our identity, thoughts, memories, and values, it can be extremely confusing and scary. We may experience dissociation, where our brain tries to protect us from remembering the past pain or trauma we have been through. We may experience triggers, when a stimuli reminds our brain of our trauma and becomes distressed. Or we may feel completely lost in life, like we don't know who we are anymore or what our purpose is. Please remember that these feelings are normal, and just know that healing is possible. It took me close to a year to realise that what I was experiencing and feeling was actually grief. But once I acknowledged this loss, I was able to process it, and this helped my healing journey immensely. All of the information and strategies I'm providing with you today is purely just from my personal experiences. It should never constitute professional advice and should never be relied upon as such. I highly advise you to seek professional help from a trained mental health professional or health professional.